Hello and welcome to Tales from the Backlog. My name is Steve Boshier and I can read your mind. If you don't know this channel, this is Shadows of Archonia, where we play all sorts of tabletop role-playing games. On Friday nights, we do our ongoing campaigns in an in-person format in the other room. We are returning this week to Shadows of the Abyss for episode 14. That's our Shadow Dark campaign run by our good friend Alan, who's not with us tonight, but you'll see him on Friday. On Monday nights like tonight, we do this game, or this show. This is called Tales from the Backlog, and over here, we obviously are in a remote setup, and we try out all sorts of tabletop role-playing games with a rotating cast of players. In short, 1 to 3 session stories usually. It gets longer at times, especially recently. But Cindy. Yeah, tonight, obviously, we're doing some Star Trek. Before I hand it over to Christian, I just want to say, if you like this channel, if you like what we do, if you want to talk games with us, even if you don't like what we do and you just want to come talk about games with us, come to the Discord. Don't tell us you hate us. We don't like that. But you can come to the Discord. There's a link to it below the video, whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube right now. We are on both platforms. And if you really like what we are doing here, you can join our Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you can watch all of our pregame shows. For 15 minutes before we go live on every stream, we record whatever we're talking about. A lot of this week's was talking about the game system and other things, because we don't, we haven't played this one before. We have technically played Star Trek Adventures, but it was the first edition, and it was years ago, and none of the other people here were in it with me. So Chris has played this one before. Which way are you? That way. Chris has played this one before, so he's going to hold our hands through it, hopefully not too much. Chris, take it away. Tell us what we're doing.
All right. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Steve. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to play in the Final Frontier here, one of my all-time favorite franchises, a lifelong Trekkie. And I am also, as a game master, definitely an appreciator of the house system from Modifius Entertainment, the 2D20 system. That is the engine that fuels Star Trek Adventures 2nd Edition. You did mention that there are some recent updates in the 2nd Edition that kind of streamlines some of the play in this relatively crunchy system, but it is an interesting RPG rule set in that the basic core mechanic, the 2D20 dice pool system, is pretty straightforward. So for folks who are fans of tabletop role-playing but who haven't messed with this one before, I think you'll get what's going along. And for Trek fans, I hope they get a lot of fun out of watching as my friends Paul and Cindy and Steve here go through the Final Frontier on an adventure I wrote called Distress Call. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say before we go ahead and cut to the captain's log mission briefing, but I don't think there is. Steve, if you would be so kind.
Yeah,
I think we're ready.
Captain's Log, USS Able, Stardate 37042.4. The Able, currently on routine patrol duty on a circuit connecting remote Federation outposts on the frontier of explored space here in the Alpha Quadrant, has diverted to the Delphi Tartarus system after receiving a Priority 1 distress call. Delphi Tartarus is a G-class star system far-flung in a distant sector within its local spiral arm, home to an advanced energy research laboratory on its third planet. Phenomena, described as glowing orbs with apparent origins in fluidic space, have appeared on the surface in the vicinity of the lab, disrupting normal operations and endangering crucial research. The orbs have appeared with increasing frequency in and around the sprawling research station, where over 10,000 personnel reside. These scientists have been working to study and manipulate novel variants of neogenic radiation to develop promising new technologies for power and propulsion. Starfleet Command considers the scientists and their current research to be vital to the future of the Federation, and their frontier of scientific knowledge could be set back by decades if these station inhabitants and their ongoing experiments are lost. The Able has responded to their call for help and is due to arrive soon.
We're back.
All right. Hopefully that gives the folks at home a briefing right along with the crew here. So we are in the in-universe year of approximately 2360. This takes place just before the first season of Star Trek The Next Generation, which debuted back in the real world in 1987 in the fall. And we are aboard the Nebula-class star cruiser, the USS Able. The Able has received a Priority 1 distress call, and it is currently on patrol in the Alpha Quadrant, in kind of the frontier, the far side of the Alpha Quadrant, that part of our home part of the galaxy. And we have received this Priority 1 distress call from a research station on a planet, the third planet in the Delphi Tartarus system. This is kind of a remote, secluded, and fairly significant Federation research station where over 10,000 personnel are on planet working on new forms of capturing what's called neogenic radiation and harnessing its power for power generation and eventually starship propulsion. This is top-notch, cutting-edge stuff here for hardworking Federation scientists. They don't see ships like us come out that often. We make this, patrol route, touching all these far-flung bases and making sure that their needs are met. So it is important to note, and of some concern, that this noted research station has problems. The problems being a phenomenon that has been observed, these glowing orbs that have disrupted some of the station's functions and potentially jeopardized the important research and the neogenic radiation reactions, what's called Metreon chain reaction generators that they have going, that not only are the most important research tool that they're currently experimenting with, but also that fuel a large part of the station's function. So what I would like to do is go ahead and introduce our characters, if I can, and talk a little bit more again about the Starship Able. This is where you are located, and for folks who have played again this game, here are the basic stats, but you basically know it's kind of the kid sister of the Enterprise D. You can kind of think of it as something like that. It is a multi-role explorer, a real workhorse. There are several hundred people on board, but you guys are going to figure in as some of the most prominent. And the specific upgrades to this ship make it ideal for these long-range patrols. It's a sturdy ship. It has advanced sensors and advanced shields, and is fit with all the appropriate weapons and defenses of a ship of the line. Steve, would you be so kind as to tell us about, if I can find your character, there he is, right there, the executive officer, Commander Ronald Graf.
Yeah, well, that's me. I am the XO. I'm Ronald Grov. I am a Betazoid. All of my sort of training and talents lean towards maximizing on the telepathy and the empathy of the Betazoid. I have a talent called reassuring. I have a talent called close-knit crew. I have a talent called advisor, follow my lead. These are the things that Ronal Grav is about. One of my values, and I'm going to say probably my core value, is that we are all connected despite being worlds apart. I believe that if two people can really, really get on the same page, no matter what their worldview, they will find a way to make it work, even if they're worst enemies at the start. But it requires everyone involved to be willing, and I'm very aware of that. So that's the mindset that I bring towards helping command this crew.
Outstanding. Fantastic. Let us go from the top of the heap, first officer, to probably the most seasoned member of the crew, but also somebody who has a impressive enlisted rank. This is Master Chief Petty Officer Cliff Reddy. Paul, tell us about him.
Yeah, so the Master Chief came up again as an enlisted man through the ranks, and he's the hand that brings to light the lofty goals of the commander. He's human. His talents are being tough, bold, and I believe that no pain, no gain. One of his core values is that good leaders get their hands dirty. So I'll be there to enforce the word of the commander.
Outstanding. Very, very good. Just as important, let us go to our Chief Medical Officer, Lieutenant Commander TL. Cindy.
Yep. So my focus mostly is towards the medical field, following in the footsteps of my parents, and basically the Vulcan beliefs of honoring life. Though obviously will protect myself and others if need be, but the do no harm, of course. And I took, a field medicine and combat medic and things like that, mainly focusing in the medical field.
Without a doubt. And also another talent that you have, of course, is the emotional suppression of Kolinar, an important ritual and change of life in the experience of any Vulcan.
Yes, it was. I really wanted the Vulcan death pinch, but I was like, maybe next time.
Nice.
Kolinar seemed more appropriate.
Outstanding. Wonderful characters. I will tell you a little bit more about the rest of your crew. Your commanding officer is Captain Jabbar Ben Nimaj. Captain Jabbar has been your commanding officer on this vessel for a number of years. He had a previous command that also had a similar deep space multi-role exploration focus. You guys find him to be generally even-tempered and competent. He is absolutely interested and relatively skilled in most departments. Not super good, but he doesn't know one end of a Band-Aid from another. But for most of the other things like that, he at least can understand the options and the plans of action that you bring to him as his senior staff. Some other important members of the crew. In the upper left-hand corner here, your chief engineer, Lieutenant Commander Harlan Thorpe. Operations officer responsible for all the shipboard systems, Lieutenant Commander Rayma Hart. Ship's counselor, advisor to the CO and the XO, and the person that you turn to when you are dealing with stress in your duties is Lieutenant Commander Lyra, a Deltan psychologist, and your science officer, very important on a mission of this type, the Vulcan Lieutenant Sokol. As we visit the main bridge, I will also point out a couple of other folks that you have back here just behind the captain. The tactical officer is the Saurian Lieutenant Jatsik, and you have an Ensign Fell responsible for navigation and maneuvering at the con station. So
who's that
yeah,
Bolian?
please go ahead.
Who's that Bolian?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I beg you. The Bolian Lieutenant Fell. Apologies. That's who he is. Ensign Fell.
Gotcha. Okay.
The distress call has been received. All of you have noted this. The captain is calling a meeting in the observation lounge. If I have a chance to make sure I got everybody in there. And he brings this to you, and he says, well, folks, we're still a few hours out from Delphi Tartarus 3. Obviously, this is Starfleet Command priority to make sure that this station continues doing the good work that it has been doing. It's a significant investment. We're dealing with the fact that if this phenomenon that we have observed, and that has been observed, we still need to get a lot of information from the station itself. If it turns out to be a threat to the station, we do not have the option to offload 10,000 people to this vessel. There are no other ships in range. So we will need to figure out contingency plans if lives are in danger. Commander, let me start with you as he turns to you, Steve. He looks at Grav and says, what can we put in motion as a plan of action as soon as we reach standard orbit?
First things first, we should beam down a small party to make contact with the people on site. We want to know everything they know. It's best to get it from them face to face. Obviously, if they've collected any data on this phenomenon, that'll be best transferred via the computers. But they are seeing lights, and it made them call us starship. There's something more going on here than we know, and I want to get that from them.
Well, it was an abbreviated message, as you know, from Commander Roberts, who is the senior Starfleet officer in command of the base. But he said that there were disruptions to power and operations that put both lives and their experimental research in jeopardy. And obviously, I'm more concerned about the former. He said that there was a turbolift accident that actually severely injured 3 people. That was a result of the power disruption that orbs appearing on the surface seem to have put into effect. He says that there is a subspace rift of some sort, and that seems to be the source in orbit of these orbs, that they haven't directly threatened, if they even are a sentient life form of some kind. These are all things that we still need to understand. And what I need, he looks around the table, from each of you are plans of action to be able to better assess this as soon as we are in range to do so. He turns to you, Master Chief. Chief,
Yes.
you are responsible for the safety of this ship, and you always come through. I need you to put that into the capable hands of other people in your department, and I need you down on that planet. I need you to be able to assess that threat. Can you tell me what you think is an appropriate plan of action to keep my away team safe with all of you down there, as well as 10,000 scientists?
Do we know if the phenomena is trackable by our sensor systems? Can we put a weapons lock on it in case something happens while the away crew is down on the down on the station?
The data are spotty from Tartarus Station. They're still collating, but assume that we will be able to once we reach standard orbit.
Okay. I think we should have a contingency plan for transport back in case something happens with the transporter systems. So have a shuttle on standby, and I'll select members of my team to ensure the safety of the rest of the away crew.
Very well. Of course, you also have shuttlecraft at your disposal if you want to avail yourself of avoiding transport and taking a craft down to the surface instead. Might allow you to more easily have supplies, might allow you to establish a perimeter before you approach the base. There was some word from Roberts that orbs appeared on the surface on the outskirts of Tartarus Station. I have no understanding, and I'm sure we won't until we get there, as to whether or not this represents either a pattern that is explicable by natural means, or whether we are in fact dealing with some kind of life form or a signal from some kind of life form.
Captain, we're dealing with research scientists. It's my recommendation that we prepare both the transporter and the shuttlecraft, and then when we're in range, due to the truncated nature of their previous message, perhaps we can contact them and find out which they believe would be the safer method of transport. Given the power disruptions, either option could potentially be hazardous.
On the heels of what the chief said, that makes excellent sense. Make it so, number one. Doctor, not only am I counting on you to be a pair of boots on the ground to make sure that injured parties are tended to, and that includes the station personnel who have been injured, as well as the officers who accompany you on the away team. But more important, you are also our chief life scientist. So as someone who is a xenobiologist, how are we going to figure out whether or not we are in fact dealing with a life form? And more to the point, what do we do how to better understand what kind of life form these orbs might represent? Can you tell me more about what your plan is?
Well, we'll have to start by, of course, figuring out how we can communicate with them, and if we can communicate with them. Usually that starts...
Go ahead.
With simple methods. We have equipment that can aid us in this.
And that's when Lieutenant Commander Thorpe, your chief engineer, pipes up. He said, "Indeed we do. I can certainly set you up with a variety of signal apparatus that might aid you in being able to communicate with these glow-in-the-dark things, if they are something that can even be communicated with. The other question, and he looks at the science officer Sokol, is like, maybe the orbs aren't the entities to communicate with. Maybe the orbs are simply the manifestation of a signal. And he said, that's surprisingly logical.
Fascinating.
I think that together we can come up with multiple plans of action, but I will leave that to the commander and the doctor to suggest which of the ones that we will pursue. I will certainly assist you, Chief Engineer. The other members of the senior staff chime in. Operations is going to make sure that the ship is ship shape. The counselor is empathic. You all know this, as part of her species talents. Whether or not she's going to be able to shed light on whether or not these orbs are sentient is going to be difficult to predict in advance, mostly because you're still not sure what sort of life form that you will all be dealing with.
Well, if it conforms to,
yeah, go ahead, Steve.
I was just going to say, if it conforms to anything like any of the life forms we've met, being equipped with a Deltan, a Betazoid, and 2 Vulcans should give us a good chance at making some kind of mental contact with it.
Agreed.
You can read her thoughts as she just looks at you across the table there, and she's like, I really hope you're right.
I would like to ask Engineer Thorpe if he's been able to get any readings on the phenomenon and whether or not there is equipment we have that could produce perhaps a modulated beam to interfere with them should that be necessary.
He quirks an eyebrow. He says, that second part is a really good idea. I'll get on that in the hour or so that we still have before we reach Delphi Tartarus. And I will confer with you and make sure that you have the equipment that you need to attempt to do that if you're on the surface. I'll do the best I can in a short amount of time. As for the second part, and he calls up display screen that's here on the wall at right and provides you with some data, and he says it's like, the data that we have from Delphi Tartarus is still pretty spotty, but from what I'm making of it and stuff like that, it looks as though that the origin here that has appeared in orbit is actually a rift in subspace. This is the origin of these phenomena or these entities, whatever they are, is from someplace else. We won't know more until we reach standard orbit.
Do we know, has anyone ever been able to close one of these rifts? Perhaps it's as simple as that.
That is when the counselor raises an eyebrow, and she calls at you from the other end of the table and says, it's an interesting prospect and certainly worth considering as and equipping ourselves to perform such actions. But if these are sentient, or if there's something on the other side of that subspace rift that is using the orbs to communicate with the station or attempt to communicate with the station, forcibly closing that rift could be seen as a threat gesture.
I agree.
It's my job to assume that it's a threat, but I understand you're all here for other reasons.
A threat gesture on our part.
Oh, I understand that.
But I understand the task that you have set before you, Master Chief.
I would like to also suggest that we have the medical bay on standby.
Absolutely, Doctor. You'll have any resources that you need. Commander Hart, see to it that medical bay has full priority for whatever they need in case we have to perform triage and emergency care in the case of something significant, a significant event on planet once we arrive. And she says, yes, sir. Jabbar looks around one more time. Yes, number one.
I recommend when we do enter orbit that we try to do so on the opposite side of the planet from where this rift has been detected. Let's keep our distance until we know what it is.
Okay. He looks around the table, the captain does, one more time. It's like, is there anything else we need to discuss? We're just over an hour from reaching standard orbit at maximum warp. I'll take that silence as acceptance. Good luck to you all.
Hi, Captain.
In that hour, number one, what kind of preparations do you wish to take as you are coming on final approach for Delphi Tartarus 3?
The main thing is I want to go... Who would be the second officer?
Lieutenant Commander Hart, the operations officer, is your next in chain of command.
Okay. Yeah, so I want to talk to Hart and just make sure she's, prepared for my absence and able to run everything. There shouldn't be too much in the realm of, crew matters while I'm gone, hopefully. But you never know how long these things can take. I'll check in with each member of our each of our department heads and everyone that was in that meeting just now. I'll check in with each of them individually, see if anyone's having any kind of emotional distress that they didn't bring up, or any thoughts or concerns that weren't voiced to the captain. And if no one does, then I'll just go prepare myself. But in terms of what I need to do before I leave, that is what my job is.
Outstanding. Let us have you give me a roll that is, let's do insight plus command.
Copy that. So
2d20. So where does that put you? Let's see here.
14.
All right, 14 is your success. Go ahead and you can roll 2d20, and if you want to, of course, you can modify that in certain ways. But that's fantastic, because what's your command? Your command is...
Command is
3. 4. I'm sorry, a command is 4. Beg your pardon. Which is fantastic. So that's actually 4 successes. That is a great roll. You are going to actually wind up banking 3 momentum, and you'll see I'll change the display there. That is going to be useful to you. Well done. Everybody at this point, with so many unknowns, is actually right on top of their job. As you talk to each department head, particularly Lieutenant Sokol in Sciences, as much as Vulcans ever express it, there's almost an eagerness to embrace the unknown. Like I said, you've found him to be a competent officer. He will be with you on the away team, the initial away team. The captain has suggested, based on recommendations from the rest of the department heads, to send your senior set of staff down to make contact with the senior staff of Tartarus Station first, and then follow that up, if necessary, with additional engineering and security personnel. That way, you kind of establish the beachhead, make sure everything is copacetic, and then you can send down more help.
Okay.
Fantastic. Well done. Let us go to Chief Reddy. Chief, tell us about your preparations in the final hour following that meeting as you begin your final approach for Delphi Tartarus 3 on the far side of the planet.
First, I'm going to inspect all the weapons that are accompanying each member of the away crew to make sure that they're functional and without any hitches. And then I want to go back to the engineer and see if he's had any more thoughts about monitoring the occurrences. Perhaps something he can give me to use in a tricorder. As a way to determine whether or not this thing is living, and if there seems to be any weaknesses to it.
You two have a pretty good working relationship from your time aboard the Able, and you have definitely been impressed by one of his key focuses and areas of true genius are homebrewed solutions when it comes to engineering. So when you come down to main engineering, you find him hard at work at his workbench, putting together not only modified tricorders that are trying to give you an expanded range of EM band, if you will, in order to be able to resolve and detect quantum signatures from outside our reality, that is space, the normal, what is considered normal space-time in our universe, because that seems to be his best guess as to the nature of this rift that is in orbit around Delphi Tartarus, from whence these orbs have come. Additionally, he just his sleeves are rolled up. He's sitting there working on the last of those tricorders to make sure that everyone has a modified tricorder. And he's like, tell me exactly again what you want to be able to do. And I still have time to modify a shuttle with appropriate sensors, but more to the point, I can try to give you something that is crew portable to be able to help you communicate with these things and also to detect them better. Can you tell me what you need?
Something that will give me a pulse on these phenomena if they are living. If it's got a pulse, then it can bleed. If it can bleed, kill it.
Yeah.
Well, the best that I can do for you, especially if these things seem to be pure energy and are not any, and don't represent any important matter manifestation, if they are energy patterns essentially, and that is their life form, there's a lot less that I can do.
Understood.
We definitely have the options to modify. Let me see that type 2 hand phaser you got there.
Hand it to him.
He pulls out his tools and starts working. He pops a hatch as he's going. It's like, I can modify the Nadion cascade, and he's doing this. And it's like, I can do it for the rest of the first away team that beams down. To be able to, if these creatures depend on some kind of gaseous fluid medium, I can make a phaser beam that is pretty effective in stripping that away. And I don't know that it's going to, any air quotes, kill them, but I do know that if they rely on some kind of material medium in our universe in order to exist and coalesce here, I can help you disperse that. And he hands it back, so he pops on the bit. It might make it a little bit more effective. It's worth a shot. No pun intended.
I appreciate the way you've boosted the auxiliary particle valence of this device. Good work.
I'll get to I'll get to work on the rest of these ham phasers, and I'll have them ready by the time we reach standard orbit.
Thank you.
All right, excellent work. Meanwhile, in sickbay,
Yeah.
Dr. TL, tell us what you do in your final hour as you are preparing. You have the option to load supplies in a shuttle or to have some available to beam down, and anything else that you want to do to prepare your crew in case of triage. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, making sure that things are going well in the medical bay, and having a team prep supplies for whether we are beaming down or taking the shuttle. Probably have them in both places to
Outstanding.
be more efficient. Probably go and take 15 minutes to meditate in my quarters before I go see the science officer and discuss with him, right?
Yes, SoCal.
Yeah. What he's working on and how I can be of assistance to try to communicate with these beings. Hopefully, to if they are intelligent, have a peaceful outcome. And possibly, if they do have any injuries, also, because part of the xenobiology is also being able to assist in that realm as well.
Excellent. Excellent. That's fantastic. Let's start with the meditation, since I really like that. Could you please give me, let's do presence plus medicine for you, please. So it's a 12.
Okay.
And let us have you roll 2d20 and on difficulty 1, so you only need 1 success here, just to see how well you center yourself and if it provides you with any additional benefits.
Okay.
Outstanding. That is, I'm checking there, and medicine 3. That's actually an extra success as well. You guys now have 4 momentum banked, which is excellent going into this mission. You definitely feel centered and calm. Whether or not you also feel that the appropriate choice of action that you have taken to assume no threat until first sentience and second intent are established, you feel confident in that decision. That seems reasonable to you. You visit the science labs. SoCal is making modifications to tricorders. Doctor.
Yes.
I appreciate the logical approach that you offered in the staff meeting, and I have made an attempt to modify the normal algorithms for the universal translator to begin with the most fundamental form of communication that I can, in an attempt to project a welcome message, if you will, to beings that are potentially so different from ourselves. Of course, it starts with the fundamental basis of mathematics and then quickly builds from there. It was the most logical approach that I could think of in a short amount of time in order to establish whether or not we can observe a patterned response that suggests that these things might be sentient.
Outstanding and logical. Diversity in infinite numbers.
And hopefully, as the rest of the crew seems to think is important, maybe we'll have a bit of luck as well.
Indeed. I appreciate your assistance.
I'll have these tricorders modified. I will bring one set to the shuttle in case we fly down, and I will make sure the other set goes to transporter room 2.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll see you there shortly.
I forgot his rank.
Lieutenant
Thank you,
Lieutenant
Lieutenant.
Sokol.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
He nods as you exit. The Able approaches Delphi Tartarus. Delphi, the system, you drop out of warp. It's a G-class star, not super different from our own here on Earth. You approach the planet from the backside, as we saw here before. And let's go back to the bridge. Go to Steve. Number one, as you are in standard orbit, Captain has followed your lead and told Ensign Fel Khan to approach from the backside of the planet, opposite Tartarus Station, and make its way around. Is there any additional advice or tactic that you wish to suggest in order to complete that? Because the advantage that you have gained in kind of a stealthier approach, of course, also blinds you to a certain extent from observing the rift easily or the station easily, because you put a planet in the way. So tell us what we can do.
I think we just need to creep up on it, creep around the planet slowly. Obviously, at some point we lose any element of surprise, but the idea is to keep our distance in case it's dangerous to the ship. Not so much to sneak as to just be careful.
Okay. And in fact, with that understanding communicated in the captain's assent, Operations Officer Hart, Commander Hart, kind of lowers the power signature of the ship, if you will. You're approaching with shields down, just to be a little bit less conspicuous, but ready to bring them into action. Lieutenant Fel at Tactical is ready to raise shields if things become hairy, but you are still well outside of what you would normally consider weapons range, even for torpedoes, if you were going to be facing off against a conventional threat. So you're able to take that slow, quiet approach as you round the horizon of the planet.
And I'd like to... Is Lieutenant Sokol on the bridge?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to just keep checking with her as she scans this thing and lets us know what it may or may not be, what's coming out of it, what's going into it, anything she can determine about it beyond rift in subspace.
Both Commander Hart here up front and is running scans to try to see if there are any kind of conventional bioscans as you begin to escape the planet's sensor shadow and begin to get closer to orbit that would be geostationary over Tartarus Station. And this dude back here, Lieutenant Sokol, the science officer, is running wide spectrum scans to try to get the big picture from an electromagnetic point of view, in terms of understanding the nature of the subspace rift that was identified by the station. You are still radio silent at this point. The captain is kind of taking your lead to see whether or not you want to try to hail the station. The station doesn't probably know that you have responded and reached orbit yet because of the sneaky ass way that you have crept up on the planet. So that mark is on you. Do you wish to try to break radio silence, and hail the station.
Commander, can I interject something before we make that decision?
Go ahead, Chief.
Perhaps we could consider deploying one of our shuttles to approach separately. If something happens, then either later on with the away team, then we have another venue to transport people out of there, either physically or by transporter. And we don't have to reveal that. It can just kind of sit behind the planet as necessary. If we're going to do that, maybe we should do it now before they can notice a deployment.
Certainly a reasonable precaution. Captain, with your permission, I think we should make it so.
Indeed, number one, I concur. Lieutenant Commander, go ahead and clear Shuttle Bay 2 to launch a shuttle and assign appropriate personnel. We're just sending a single crew down?
Well, we're leaving them in orbit, right? But away from the phenomenon.
Well,
Right.
just to clarify in meta, your intention is to launch a shuttle, obviously with somebody flying it, and have it be essentially an advanced scout to test the waters. Is that correct? Am I reading you?
We could do that way, or we could just have it hide behind the penumbra of the planet should something go wrong when the Able comes into full view. I think either way is good.
Yeah.
Perhaps if we send it out as a tentative hello, perhaps that undermines the integrity of our mission.
Yeah,
Okay.
my understanding was we're leaving it in an orbit hidden from view of the phenomenon, less a scout than a fallback.
Correct.
Okay, I understand. Let me see what I got here. Let's hope.
Also, I totally thought so-called was female.
He's got really good hair.
Yeah. Not everyone does in Star Trek.
Let's see if this is the right asset as I drop it. Yes, it is. There we go.
All right.
All right. You successfully launch,
I got this cursor swapped out too.
and we put this red shirt lieutenant in there. And the shuttlecraft is deployed, launched, out there, just flying casual. But at a safe range, actually is ordered to, as you said, sort of stay behind, and is in fact outside of transport range. He's far enough away that as your ship makes its approach, he should go unnoticed. Does that satisfy? And of course, that shuttle has been given the sensor software modifications that Lieutenant Commander Thorpe was working on to try to give you kind of a bigger, better picture of the subspace rift.
Outstanding. Yep. It's Ensign Riley's first command there.
Possibly last.
Don't say that. You don't know.
It's Star Trek. We know.
Wait, did he just get
Excellent.
married?
Almost. It was like, called away at the last minute because
Oh,
the captain,
damn it.
had to be on the bridge doing stuff.
Oh man.
Love this. Fantastic. Chief, was there anything else that you wanted to do? That was an excellent suggestion. The two of you, your plan has been implemented. Before I go to the good doctor, is there anything else that you wanted to do as this operation is taking place and you have kind of a fall behind shuttle?
No, Captain. I'm going to wait and watch in vigilance.
All right, fantastic. Kind of looking over the shoulder of your tactical officer there and keeping an eye on your station. Doctor, is there anything that you would like to do in terms of having the Abel's shipboard assets at your disposal in terms of determining life form potential? You still have yet to come into range, but you are just about to get to the point where you can start looking for things. Is there any action that you would like to direct at this point?
Right. Basically, I'm at the ready to do that broadened search or assist in that broadened search to see if we can make contact or find out, first of all, if this is an intelligent life form and if we can make contact with them.
Excellent. The chief engineer is at your immediate right, and the science officer at your far left, and the three of you are working as in a team, in a concerted effort, coordinated effort to make that happen. As we come around the planet, on the main viewer, you get your first look at the subspace rift. You see that there is kind of a what's called a dilution disk. The science officer explains. He says, Captain, this is really quite unusual. Not only is this a rift in subspace and a connection to a parallel point outside of our space-time that is different than our own, what that rift is doing is leaking some kind of gaseous media. That's why you see the kind of glowing corona around it. And then you can see that there are many, 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 many orbs that are kind of glowing and moving and coalescing around. And as you get a little bit closer,
I think after he gives his report to the captain, we make eye contact and we both lift an eyebrow.
yes, indeed.
Does one of you go right and the other left?
Probably.
Awesome.
As you reach a certain proximity, still fairly far away, you see that kind of a gentle issuing beam of sorts, but the beam is consisting of many, 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 many individual orbs going down to the planet. Your navigator consults his planetary map and it informs you. Ensign Pell says, "Is like, sir, that beam is headed directly for Tartarus Station." That's when your tactical officer Jatsik says, "Sir, we're being hailed. Tartarus Station is detected as an incoming message."
On screen.
This man appears on the view screen, and Captain Jabbar speaks up. He's like, I am Captain Jabbar, the USS Able. You are Commander Roberts, is that correct? And he says, yes, I'm Calvin Roberts. I'm in command of this station. Thank you for your prompt arrival. We have been experiencing an immediate uptick in the presence of these phenomena. In fact, they look like they are forming some kind of perimeter around our station. We have yet to experience any more significant power disruptions or other function events, that we've already experienced. We're getting about the same as normal. These things appear sometimes for a few seconds, sometimes for a few minutes. They mess things up. I can't have things messed up, Captain. You understand. This is too important, the research that we've worked these last few years to accomplish. We are already a week behind in our next phase for our experiments on the MCR generator. I won't put all that in jeopardy. I need your help, and I need it now.
Commander Roberts, have you done any scanning of these objects or entities to determine whether there is any correlation between any of the materials you're working with in your lab and these light balls? There's a whole planet here, and they're just surrounding the station, so there must be a reason.
Well, you're quite correct, and to the extent that we are able to scan them, which can be a bit tricky, but we put our best people on it, these phenomena consist of pure energy, no material form. They have a quantum signature that is from outside of normal space. It's been very, very difficult for us to be able to scan that rift in the sky accurately from where they're coming. But as far as we can tell, that is a fluid medium. And whatever the someplace else is on the other side of it, it's prevalent there. I doubt that your ship could function if it were to pass through it into that other universe.
Well, that wasn't on my list of things to do anyway.
But see that it isn't.
Yeah. But no, perhaps correlation in frequencies between the energy of these balls and any energies that you're working with. A resonance effect, perhaps, attracting them.
We've experienced, fortunately, significant disruptions in every system except for the MCR generator, but we are worried. Obviously, it could shut things down. If the reaction were to lose containment, there would be no point in running.
And what about subspace itself? Could your experiments have in some way caused the rift, and these entities are simply a response to that?
He looks almost offended when you say that, but he says, that seems quite speculative and highly improbable, but when it comes right down to it, Commander, there's no way to know.
Understood.
Nevertheless, we need to preserve what we have here, and I've got 10,000 souls to protect, and I do need your help. Will you be coming down? Right
Yes,
now, you will probably find that the disruptive effect of these glowing balls of light is such that transporter lock is going to be dicey at best. If you are going to come down, I recommend that you either transport at least a couple kilometers outside of my perimeter, or safer still, take a shuttle down.
Yes.
And we'll meet you outside. It's warm here, but we call it home.
We anticipated that possibility, and we have a shuttle standing by. It's Gavin Roberts, is it?
Calvin
Roberts. You're wrong about one thing, Mr. Roberts. We have 10,000 souls to protect, and we're coming to help you do it.
That's what we like to hear. Robert's out.
All right.
The captain looks at you. He
Sorry, did you want to say something, Captain?
No, not at all, number one. What I wanted to say is, make it happen. Protect these people. Let us know what we can do to assist you from here.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
take care of the ship until you get back.
right.
I want to ask the ship's counselor.
Yes.
He seemed a little defensive when talking about his research. Did you get any indicators for him that he's hiding anything about what they're doing there?
She considers what you say, and Lyra says, "It's an excellent question, Chief. Based on what I could infer, he is very concerned. He's clearly overworked. He doesn't like being behind schedule, and he's genuinely worried for his people. He's also genuinely worried for protecting Starfleet's interests. So he is in conflict, but the things that he seems to prioritize are probably the same. That is my best guess. He didn't seem, as I could get a surface sense, that he was being untruthful, except perhaps trying to keep his cool in the face, and save face in front of people that he just met, for whom he was requesting their assistance in a dire state.
All right. Maybe it's because I'm just an enlisted man, but could somebody explain to me, like I'm a 3-year-old, what exactly they're doing down there so we know what we're getting ourselves into before we put crew in jeopardy on the ground?
Sokol turns to you, and he's calling up. He taps on his Elkar's display in front of him and calls up some really opaque-looking diagrams of power curves and things like that. And he tells you, potentially, these Metreon cascade reactions are the next evolution of starbase power generation and starship propulsion. It is beyond, but similar to, on the most fundamental level, the Nadion cascade reaction that happens when you fire your phaser, Chief.
I understand that.
Orders of magnitude more powerful, orders of magnitude more difficult to contain and control. And that's part of the reason why a remote outpost like this is perhaps the ideal place to push back the frontiers of scientific knowledge in this particular discipline.
How does the power output of this thing compare to a matter-antimatter reaction like in our warp drive?
Way more efficient.
Efficiency, okay.
Yeah, without a doubt. But also, for all more reasons, really, really, really dicey. Hard to modulate, hard to control. Based on what Sokol told you in the earlier briefing, the Federation is just taking baby steps in understanding what this technology could mean.
Okay.
And the reason why is because, and Sokol confirms something that was already brought like that it is potential that, again, based on the difficulties that you have sort of controlling and modulating this power generation reaction that takes place, which is very volatile and difficult to modulate, it does create subspace disturbances.
Is it
So
possible?
it is possible that that's something to pay attention to.
Is it possible then we can use some of this knowledge to help us communicate through that subspace disturbance?
That's an excellent question. Let's get closer and find out. Your shuttle is, again, outside of transporter range. It is back and safely out of the way. The Able pulls only as close to the rift as would be necessary to be able to reach it at extreme range with beams projected from the navigational deflector. You would technically be within phaser range of it. You could certainly send all kinds of waves and pulses again through the navigational deflector if there is anything that you would like to do from orbit.
I was also thinking about using the deflector to attempt some mathematical communication, the beginnings of...
Yeah, you could. SoCal has prepared the main computer with the algorithm that he has designed. It's an augmentation of the normal functions of the universal translator. If you wanted to, you could try to hail it.
Yeah, I think that's our next step. Also, I'm gonna go to SoCal. SoCal, I've prepared this list, and I pull up a list on the display there that says antimatter universe, mirror universe, mycelial realm, and do we call this one ball space? What do you think?
I believe the scientists, aptly so, based on their empirical data, have come to call it fluidic space.
Ah, fluidic space.
It has been hypothesized.
But there's balls coming out.
I suppose they might amend that name to ball space.
Well, let's keep our options open.
It does have a certain ring to it.
All right. Yeah, let's try and hail this thing.
Okay. No problem. It's not even a roll. You definitely do. And I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 threat. And the pulse is sent. SoCal his augmented universal translator communication goes out. And a stream diverts from the one that's going down to the planet.
Oh, good.
It reaches out and kind of a detour of the beam. You can now, as it gets closer to you, you can see the individual balls. They're approaching the Able.
Captain, we have visitors from ball space.
Yes, it seems so, number one.
Any
we go to
response?
Suggestions.
Shields up.
Are we picking anything up from them?
So far, the only change in behavior has been this diversion.
Lieutenant SoCal, will our shields even stop those things?
Unknown.
What about their formation in space? Is there any logical pattern?
It's a precise arc. Constant radius.
I'm going to ask Lieutenant SoCal if he can determine anything from that. Or extrapolate, rather.
A precise arc would suggest that there is an intelligence defining that arc.
I would agree.
Ensign Fell is looking. He looks over his shoulder from Khan at Jacek, then to the captain. Sir, should I take evasive action?
I recommend shields up, but no evasive action at this time.
Make it so, says the captain. Jacek raises shields. The arc continues.
We can refine the mathematical algorithms.
And as it reaches out to embrace the ship, It seems to pass right through the shield perimeter. Back on the bridge. Red alert happens. There is a significant power fluctuation. Lieutenant Commander Hart up front at operations says that there are minor disruptions all over the ship. And at tactical, there's a damage report assessment that says one of the orbs, in point of fact, has been spotted. It has simply materialized, come straight through the ship, and then disappeared. These disruptions go on for about 30 to 60 seconds. You are still at red alert when outside the ship, the orbs retreat back to the rift.
During the period of time that the orbs were in contact with the ship, I would like to use my telepathy to see if I can sense any life forms.
You
so
are
I can sense surface thoughts and emotions.
There on the bridge, not seeing any of them in close proximity. Deck 1 was fairly far away from, most of them went through the engineering hall.
Okay, that was my next question.
Although some did go through the saucer section. You were not in proximity enough to easily read anything, especially if it is as foreign in the way it might have consciousness as you would have needed to be in order to get a good read on that. So unfortunately, you're going to have to get up close and personal with one to be able to have a better read on it.
Okay, and I'll just raise a questioning eyebrow at Lyra as well.
I was going to say, she's quick too. She's like, I can tell that something is there, but it's like listening to static over subspace radio.
But you're getting something. Is it? Do you think it's coming from those entities that came this direction, or from the rift?
When those things reached the ship, I could sense that something was there. I could not tell what the something was. I could certainly not tell whether the something was trying to communicate.
I see.
I'd like to, with Lieutenant Sokol, run diagnostics on the systems that were affected to see if the entities were doing anything mathematical or anything like that that we could pick up on.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's also going to be essentially difficulty 0. So go ahead and actually roll 3d20 for me, and we'll use the able to assist you because it has shipboard functions. So roll 3d20. And that's going to be 2 successes. That's going to get you to your full complement of 6 momentum, which is going to be fantastic.
Great, we got to start using that.
And what you are able to see is that the thing reached out and seemed to have left no trace. The disruptions were momentary spikes and almost damping effects of the EPS network. That's your power supply system that runs throughout the ship. The Able is still fully functional right now. Sokol suggests that too might represent curious observation.
I would agree. They've done nothing hostile as of yet.
That's when another hail comes in. He's like, Riley to Abel.
Go ahead.
Hey guys, are you okay? Because I'm just out here floating around.
Yes, Riley, we are just fine. Maintain your position till you hear from us.
Yes, sir. Will do, Commander. You guys are looking ship-shape-ish from here, but hopefully those flying balls don't come back.
I'm going to step away from the rest of the bridge crew for a moment and take the call from Riley personally. Riley, listen. You
Yes,
were sent
Commander.
out. You were sent out because we trust your judgment. You're a Starfleet officer. You can follow orders, but you also know that sometimes orders don't predict the future. If there's an action that you think you need to take to save the rest of us, do so, but only if you're sure.
I'll make sure I am, Commander. No problem. I've got your back. Riley out.
All right. I'd like to turn to Phil Call and and Hart and say,
Yes.
am I right in believing that the majority of those balls went towards the engineering section and possibly were attracted to the greatest outputs of power on the ship?
SoCal runs a quick scan and looks at Hart. Hart confirms. He's like, actually, Commander, you're right. You're quite correct, she says. He's like, she says, the highest number of concentrations of observations of these glowing orb phenomena were centered around the warp core.
They're hungry.
They're hungry, perhaps.
Yet they didn't take anything.
They didn't take anything permanently, and they left us alone after coming to get a look, but they haven't left the station alone.
It's a matter of taste. They don't like nachos. They want pizza.
Well, we got to find out what's on that pizza and
Kill
take
it.
it off, or find another way to give it to them.
Lieutenant Jacek at Tactical says, Captain, are you seeing this? He calls up something, throws it onto the main viewer. You see the beam, the kind of cascade of glowing orbs that is descending toward Tartarus Station and forming that perimeter. It increases in visible intensity. It definitely becomes brighter. You see it happening. There's something that is intensifying and becoming more significant about it. Moments later, you get another hail from the surface. It's Commander Roberts. He's outside. He's not happy. Roberts to Abel. We have problems. We are seeing that there is increased activity of these things down here. I don't know what you did up there, but we sure would like to see you down here to help us out. We are now looking at intrusion into the MCR generator facility. This is of grave concern.
We're on our way. We'll be down as soon as we can. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we stopped to scan these things, but they were already kind of beaming beams down there, like as soon as
Correct.
we got here. So
Exactly so. It was a kind of a gentle cascade, but now things have gotten a whole lot more intense after it's, if you consider it a discovery investigation as to the nature of the Able. But these things are definitely down on the surface, and they are causing problems. What's your next move? The captain looks at you. Pick your plan, number one.
we're taking the shuttle down. Chief Reddy, I need you to bring two guys whose names I don't know. Doctor, you're coming with us.
I know just the two.
All right, let's hit it.
SoCal will also join you, and we will also bring at least. I guess we'll have Chief Engineer Thorpe will probably also be of good use to you down on the surface, and that will make your 7.
That's
fantastic.
Good.
You have received the coordinates from Tartarus Station to point a landing zone on the perimeter where you will be able to be within walking distance of where you will rendezvous with Roberts. Roberts will take you in from the outside. You launch with your equipment. You broach the atmosphere. You make it planet side and get a chance to see. It was a little bit of a bumpy ride on the way in.
Oh, who was flying?
Your shuttle. Who is flying? Who on? Just for fun, let's find that out. Who flew down?
Okay, so we left Hart up there. I think one of Reddy's guys was flying.
Let me see how well he did.
Either that or me.
He did extremely well. So
right.
Yeah, no problem. So here's your landing party as you make Planetfall. You are still about 2 to 3 kilometers from where you're going to meet Roberts, and you figure it was safe to put the shuttle down in a safe place and then figure out what you need to do. He's going to meet you outside of the perimeter. You have the chief engineer. You have the good doctor. You have Master Chief. You have this guy. You have SoCal. And you have 2 guys whose names you don't know. Let's make it this dude and this lady.
Are they dating?
You're a landing party. They just got married.
Oh, great. That's good. It helps bring unity to the group.
And your destination is just past this high ground on the other side of that ridge, about 2.5 kilometers away, where you will rendezvous with Commander Roberts outside. He'll take you into Tartarus Station. If we could, Steve, maybe this is a great time for us to pause and take that break and
yes, sir.
Get into the thick of it when we get back after our intermission.
That's the idea. By the way, one of your offspring, I believe, was in the chat. GE Bynum said, "Hello, father."
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it is. My one and only, my daughter.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for the continuation.
Hey, Commander.
Welcome back. If you're on YouTube, you can see me and Lisa debating the status of Worf in Season 1 and whether a red shirt is still a red shirt in the early TNG era. Because what would Star Trek be without debates about Worf?
It's true. And, it's like just because command is gold, command is red now and operations is gold, it doesn't mean that you can't still kill a red shirt who's actually red or a red shirt who's actually gold. I say kill them both.
Right.
All right. Well, fantastic. Thanks very much. And also a shout out to all the friends who are in chat, including some of the play testers who helped me tune this VTT setup and this mission together in preparation for presenting it to you folks out there tonight. So thanks to them. We are now on planet. We are on the surface of Delphi Tartarus 3. Anything that you would like to do before leaving the shuttle. Let's start with you, Commander.
Definitely, once we're in the atmosphere and within a couple kilometers of this phenomenon, just start scanning, see if we detect anything, see if the shuttlecraft's power systems pull any of these orbs away from the station. If not that, once we're on the ground, tricorders out, and we go.
As you are equipped with your augmented transporters and your augmented phasers, as you are preparing and locking and loading, as it were, as the sun reaches the horizon and starts to change to a slightly different shade, you can actually, in the atmosphere, more clearly see something that looks about like that. You can see the cascade that's coming from orbit. Maybe not quite so pronounced, but that's the best I can work it from here. That's the direction that you're supposed to be heading. It actually acts almost as a beacon. But if you compare that to your tricorders, it is essentially the heading that you're supposed to be, the bearing you're supposed to be taking in order to reach Commander Roberts and his group, who will escort you to the station outside of what seems to be that established perimeter, just a few kilometers in that direction. It's a clear hotspot. You are not finding any electromagnetic signaling that suggests that the orbs are anything other than focused around Tartarus Station.
We have to figure out the relationship between the station's work and those creatures, and I think one of them has got to go.
Chief, we have a working theory that these things are drawn to power sources. There's also a working theory that the reactor's interaction with subspace may have caused them to breach into our reality in the first place, directly or indirectly. If these theories prove to be correct, we don't necessarily need to make one of them go away. We can perhaps provide them with a power source of their own so that they leave the station alone.
I concur, Commander.
I'm just an enlisted man.
I know. I'm just painting a picture. For all I know, these are overtly hostile beings from another dimension invading our universe, but I don't like to assume that up front.
Sokol turns to you, overhearing as he is loading up his equipment, and says, "Well, Commander, it does seem that the only interaction that we have been able to initiate from these beings, if they are in fact beings and not merely a phenomenon, has been one that has seemed, again, more curious than threatening. So I think it's important to meet them on their own footing, as it were."
I agree. However, we've only observed their interaction with the Able. We've not yet directly observed their interaction with the station. Obviously, there are energy outputs there that we're not capable of reproducing on the ship. So we have to see what's going on once we get there.
That makes perfect sense. I understand. More data are required.
More data. Maybe we should pronounce it data. Have you heard about this guy?
Let's do a walk and talk.
Oh yeah,
time's a wasted.
Yeah,
with daylight burning, you do, in point of fact, make good time crossing the arid, dusty, windswept plain. And you
Why
head
did
for
we
that.
come down 2 kilometers away and not like a quarter of a kilometer? Does anybody know?
Just to be safe. You played a hunch, and it was a flat, easy landing zone rather than putting down in this uneven terrain.
Just pouring a canteen
Just
on
think,
myself.
Commander, you can use it for mindful hiking, as I do.
Let
For
us
what?
have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Please continue.
Use it for what, TL?
Mindful hiking.
What is that?
It is like a meditation that you can do while your legs move.
Oh, I usually let other people do meditation for me, and then I just sort of borrow their. Never mind. I didn't say that.
Listen, I brought you. I wish I
Just
could
to
do that.
see as you make it into the foothills and start to gain a little bit of elevation and stuff here, let us have just a let's do fitness plus command.
Me?
I'll have everybody do it, and I'll start with you, Commander.
Copy that. Fitness is 7, command is 4, so 11 for me. Oh, that's no good. Could be worse.
1 is sufficient on this one. You find that you're gonna have to hit the treadmill when you get back, because you're turning an ankle left, right, and sideways as you move, and nothing that's gonna cause you problems other than a little bit of grumbling and ego as you make your way up the loose sand slopes. We go to the chief.
All right, so I need to beat a 13, so I got one success.
1 success is sufficient. You're finding that even with all the experience that you have had, you have been certainly in more hostile environments to train. You have been in more hostile environments facing threat species like the Tholians, the Zenkethi, and the dreaded Cardassians. But this is a inhospitable set of foothills as you make your way through. You'll be glad to meet up with Commander Roberts when you see him and find what the locals find the easy way to get down the other side of this ridge and get to where they're going. And you are getting close. As a matter of fact, Sokal says I am reading humanoid life signs just a half a kilometer ahead. So you guys are getting close to Roberts hooking up with you guys. Dr. Vulcan is probably not much different than this. Let's see how you do.
Thinking the same thing. So it's control and fitness, you said?
Yes, please. Command, fitness and command.
Oh, fitness and command. My bad. Okay, so under 13.
Yeah, without a problem. You negotiate easily, and you have a bit of bonus momentum if you want to try to spend that in any way. Is there something that you would like to observe? You go ahead and you keep yourself fully calm. Your meditation is working for you. You are open. You're intaking as you are making an easy progress in environs that remind you of your childhood and home. Tell us, is there anything that you would like to sort of observe or take in about the planet, the environment, or the task at hand?
At this point, I probably have my tricorder out, and
Yes.
I am trying to take readings.
Interesting. I'll go ahead and spend 2 threat. Your tricorder chirps on the way, and it chirps just as Commander Roberts and some security personnel crest the ridge in the distance ahead. And raise a hand. You see them just come over in the distance, not quite as far away, between the two groups, this is your first opportunity to see a glowing orb. Commander, you are taking point here. What would you like to do?
How big is it?
It's probably 1.5 meters, 2 meters in diameter in its brightest center.
Mhm.
No more than 3 meters across.
What is the motion of it? The direction of its motion right now?
It seemed to materialize, like straight out of nothingness, to be there. It is currently hovering just 1 meter or 2 off the ground, not even, 0.5 meter off the ground, and it is stationary. It's about halfway between you and Roberts.
I'd like to scan it telepathically.
You begin to quiet your mind and tune out the noise of the others around you, and right then and there, you actually, even before you even start to try to reach out with your mind and read its thoughts, you feel what you would describe as static. You feel if you could imagine like what getting really close to reaching out and touching like a Van de Graaff generator without actually making contact. The more you open your mind to begin to sense, the more intense and foreboding that feeling becomes. Do you wish to continue to probe with your mind?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Go ahead and give me a difficulty 4 and give me insight plus science.
Insight plus science will be 14 for me. I need 4 successes. I would like to spend 3 of our momentum to add dice.
Yep.
And I'd also like to spend my command point to get an
Oh, your determination?
Yeah, my
Well, I'll
determination.
tell you what.
Is what I meant.
Hold the determination. Go ahead and give me 4 dice of rolls right here, and let's see. And then you can determine whether you wish to use your determination.
Okay, so 5 dice, right? Because my normal 2 plus the 3 from the momentum.
So the first one costs you 1, the second one costs you 2.
Oh, I see.
You could so you actually, sorry, I actually took 1 point too many. You have 3 points remaining, but you could spend the entire pool.
I don't want to spend the entire pool.
Okay.
I thought that's how it worked, and when I was reading it today, I thought not. But
The first one is 1, the second one is 2, the third one. Okay, 1 success, 2 successes. What is your? No, you're in. You're in like Flint.
All right.
That's a double, so that stayed. So I think that was 1, 2, 3. You got underneath, and you got 1 critical success. So
Yeah.
that was 4 rolls and 6 successes. So you actually banked 2. You got 2 of them back. That's pretty solid. You definitely reach out. You definitely know that thing is absolutely some sort of life form. You haven't the foggiest idea how to communicate it with it telepathically, but you sense its presence.
TL, do you have any mind meld abilities?
Meld with it.
Doctor, you too can feel that telepathic static, and it is concerning to you.
Oh.
Mm.
My thought was perhaps a Vulcan mind would be able to make order out of this chaos. But if it's dangerous, I don't want to do that.
From high on the ridge, as the two of you are taking this action, your concentration is broken. What the bleep are you doing?
Trying to talk to it.
Well, there's many more of them to talk to back where I'm about to take you if you get your asses underway.
Yes, but you see, this one came here. It's presumably looking for us.
Well, when you're ready to come get inside,
Yeah,
we'll show you the way.
I think we're at a stalemate with this here, so let's go.
Could you give me... first, let me go to Chief Reddy. Chief, you see this touchy-feely stuff going on. What's your action? What's your instinct? You have a major and a minor action available to you.
I guess I'd want to see if it reacts to some sort of power source. Do we have something that will emit an energy source and see if it is either drawn or repulsed to it?
Yeah, actually you do. You have the first thing that comes to your mind is your old battlefield trick. You can set your phaser on overload and chuck it that way.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Okay.
Fantastic. Could you give me just a control plus security?
Okay.
Difficulty 1. You're just gonna set that thing to blow up big time.
Okay.
And throw it way over here.
I just meet it. 14.
Okay, fantastic. It's Sokal who immediately says, "Well, Chief, what are you?" And before he can even say it, you got the thing. It starts to emit this dangerous sounding hum that's rising in pitch. Woo! You yell fire in the hole and you pitch it. It clatters in the dirt over here.
I think I'm going to take cover.
I was going to say it would normally send all of you to the ground. The two security people who are with you are ditching themselves over here and taking for cover. Everybody's kind of caught flat-footed, but they try to move in that direction. The thing flies over here. You hear a muffled boom as your phaser explodes. Normally, you would be pelted with debris and just barely outside of the dangerous radius of it. Commander Roberts peeps up over the berm, shakes his head. The glowing orb has absorbed most of the concussion.
Chief?
Yes,
Next
Commander.
time you're planning to throw a bomb on an away mission, run it by me first.
Commander.
Yeah, that wasn't a great move, Chief.
Well,
we'll
now
talk about
notice
that.
we.
Well, you've learned
The-
something, but procedures, we'll talk about it later.
The orb dissipates back into the ether from whence it came. If you guys are done playing, we've got plenty more orbs to pay attention to. I'm sorry, Doctor, go ahead.
Oh, as a minimum, I suggest you warn the rest of us.
This is what I do. Just give me some latitude.
Yeah, that's
all
what
right,
your
look.
service record says.
Robertson, the security personnel that he brought with them, dust off their uniforms and are ushering you in that direction. Is there
Yeah,
anything else that
we're-
you guys would like to do, or do you follow suit?
No, we're going with him. Well, says me.
Yep, let's go.
Doctor?
Of course, I follow the commander.
Outstanding. Well done. With just another short walk, another kilometer or two, you guys pass through what you see is a perimeter of these orbs. You just see them sort of pop in for a few seconds and then disappear. Some will linger almost a minute in one place. They're not impeding you, but they definitely are forming what you can see even from your surface position is a ring around the station that is where they come down in this cascade from orbit, and then they sort of dissipate out around it. There are clearly some that you can see as you approach the station proper. And if I drop everybody in place, Roberts takes you to this headquarters building. His security personnel still shaking their heads and dusting off their coveralls and go on about their business. And he calls up a display inside the lobby there at an LCARS terminal and gives you the lay of the land. He's like, well, I don't know if you folks wish to get settled in any way first, but we do have some accommodations for you. And he points out across the way to this habitat area.
Commander,
This is our hydroponics area. He points to these areas on a map. Auxiliary science laboratories, engineering department, motor pool, the MCR generator, and the laboratories. My station, and he's as he's standing kind of on the the porch, if you will, the veranda in this glassed-in area, and you can see orbs at various points just appear. They're more concentrated in the area that's close to the MCR generator, but you don't see any within its individual perimeter. And places where you can see orb activity at various points intensify, you will see lights flicker, power generation clearly being interrupted, in what looks like a random pattern, but clearly concerning. From the motor pool, you do occasionally see what looks like essentially the base's equivalent of an ambulance zoom out across to tend to some kind of first response emergency. It's like this has been happening for over a week now, and it's getting worse. Your presence here in orbit may have caused even more problems. We're a week behind. I'm due this afternoon in a matter of, he checks the time display on the LCARS readout, 2 hours and 16 minutes. I have my next major phase of experiment. MCR reaction is at a critical stage. We cannot have power disruption happen to it. We cannot lose containment. And we need to get it done when it's at this critical stage.
Commander
Find out
Roberts,
what you can as quickly as possible. I'm begging you.
Commander Roberts, we've already found out some things. Our science officer compared the energy output of your MCR reactor to a much more powerful and advanced phaser, which is why our security chief, Cliff Reddy, performed that fully authorized experiment out in the field a moment ago, and as you and your team may have seen, the orb that was nearby dove towards a phaser on overload and absorbed its energy output. This seems to confirm the theory that they are attracted by specific frequencies of energy output, your MCR reactor being the greatest source available of that type of energy. We know of no way to get rid of them, except potentially there's a way we could distract them, and I'm just going to sort of gesture towards everyone present for ideas following up on that.
He stays you with a hand, and he looks like your stock may have just dropped a few points. And he says, Commander, that analogy fits on the surface, but if you really understand what we're doing here and the nature of the MCR reaction, comparing a Nadion cascade reaction in a phaser to what happens with a Metreon cascade reaction is like saying that your Nebula class starship is the same as a 20th century Cessna, because they both fly places and take you somewhere.
Well, I understand, but there's perhaps more similarity than there are between other types of energy outputs, right? Because we have other types of energy outputs on our ship and here on the station, yet they seem to go directly for your reactor the most. They also went up at the ship. They went very heavily for our antimatter chamber, but then departed. They did not stay.
Well,
here
we
stayed.
do have a backup warp power generator to keep auxiliary systems stable that can, of course, be used to handle the ship, to handle the station in the event that we need to do something catastrophic. But understand that even powering down our Metreon cascade reaction takes time. It's not an instantaneous flip of the switch.
Commander Roberts, I have not suggested that you power it down, nor would I, except as a last resort to save the lives of those here on the station. I understand the value of your work and its importance to the Federation, and I consider it part of my mission to help you get back on schedule. That's part of why we're here. We didn't come here to dunce around. You are clearly the experts in what you're doing. That's why you're here. We're just here to be problem solvers for you.
His tone does soften. He's like, Commander, I mean no disrespect when I'm trying to put us on track. We're clearly here serving the same master and doing the same, with the same goals in mind. So your station is my station is your station. You have access to any resources that you need. There's a chime at the door where he is. He tells them to come in, and you see two people show up.
I shake my head.
Is this too many for you, Chief?
No, I know that guy. I'm keen.
This is Mares, one of my senior scientists, and
really?
the Starfleet officer, non-commissioned officer, is Chief Pokeem. These are your 2-point people to do whatever you need here. I need to get ready for my experiments. Please keep me informed and in the loop if the situation changes. If you can figure out how to communicate with these things or with whatever entities are sending these phenomena our way, do it. Do it yesterday. I need this problem solved so I can keep on track.
That's our goal. Can you restate what their positions are, these two guys?
Yeah. As Roberts disappears, the Cation, this guy, Marex, sorry.
I was going to ask.
Is one of the senior scientists.
Okay.
This gentleman here is a Bajoran. He's Starfleet officer, non-commissioned officer again, 2 ranks below what the Master Chief is, but basically with the same function on the station. He's in charge of safe and secure operations.
Hello, Hakeem.
Well, Master Chief, it's been a while.
Not long enough.
Well, it looks like you're already up to your old tricks, because 2 of the security personnel here just told me a story about how you tried to blow up one of these things on the walk-in.
Well, at least all of my landing party survived.
He
Gentlemen.
visibly bristles at that mention of survival and field casualties. The 2 of you have some history together. Would you care to précis that?
Yeah. So, yeah, as an aside to the commander, right? Kim and I had we came up together in basic, and during an operation against the Cardassians, I had the opportunity to see him work, and let's just say his methods were unorthodox. I tried to keep him in line, but he went off with one of the other landing party, and only one of them came back. Unfortunately, it was Hakeem. The other chap was
Chief,
was I think a better officer. Yes, sir.
we have 10,000 lives at stake and a short amount of time to save them in. This is an unfortunate opinion that you have of this man, but I need you to be professional about it.
Yes, Commander.
And I will turn to Hakeem, and I'm gonna lean into my lead by example focus, and I'm going to shake his hand and say, I'm Commander Ronald Grove. We understand that you are here to help us help you. So we appreciate any insight you can provide that we haven't already gotten from Commander Roberts. And I'll say that
All
to
right.
both him and Rex.
Outstanding. Go ahead and give me presence plus command and difficulty 3.
Okay. I do have something when I use a presence roll. I have to succeed. Nobody has any stress. It's useless. Okay. I will do presence plus command, difficulty 3. I have to spend 1 momentum to even roll 3, but
In theory, you could get a critical success,
I could do
or
that.
or
Let's-
below your fairly high command focus. So your critical success, you have is it 5 command or 4 command?
It's 4 command and 11
So
presence.
that
makes it
means
50.
that means you crit. You get a double success on a 1, 2, 3, or 4. So you actually do have a pretty good chance of rolling 2
Alright.
dice to get 3 successes.
I will try it.
That
2
is 2,
successes.
but you can spend some momentum and add to that pool if you want. I don't mind you doing it after the fact.
Yeah, I would like to. Do you guys mind if I spend 3 points and roll 2 extra dice?
Do it.
No, go
Just
ahead.
in case. Thank you. All right.
There you go. And
man.
you get 1 back. There you go. So you still have
Yeah.
4 in the pool. You do impress him. He just he looks you up and down. He sees that you seem to be a straight shooter. He also knows that if he had anything that he wanted to hide, he wouldn't be able to do it.
Oh, you know, I'm thinking about it now. Shouldn't my lead by example focus have given me an extra die as well?
Your lead is
Does focus give you an extra die, or is it do
no,
something
focus
else?
is what using your focus is what gives you an opportunity to get an extended crit range.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you're fantastic. You're in with this guy. He feels like he can deal with you. Maress is easy. He just wants to protect his stuff and make sure that the work that he spent the last several years working on continues. That certainly happens. Bokeem is feeling pretty good about you, Commander Grav, but he does turn and he looks at the doctor. He's like, Dr. TL,
Do I know you?
I do know you. I don't know the specific planet that you would have triaged him on, but it would have been in the same skirmish where somebody like the same set of skirmishes against the Cardassians, let's say, that Chief Petty Officer Master Chief Reddy would have known Chief Petty Officer Bokeem. But he recognized you. He's hard at you, and you can explain why.
Yes. Well, for my character being 78, the young officer, was quite upset that I was unable to save his friend during these awful skirmishes, but I was unable to save a lot of people. They were terrible and bloody. I saved those that I could.
You can tell that he is still for some reason at least has the appearance of bearing a grudge, but he at least knows who you are. I'm going to spend 4 threat. And it is at that moment that you are startled and surprised by an explosion. It's taking place here in the kind of hydroponics domes. It goes off. Go ahead. Yeah, please.
Sorry, if you were still describing, but I was just going to ask if people run places here or if they have a transport system so we can get over there.
There's no easy way to get a site-to-site transport in just because you haven't established with whatever transporter rooms. They do have base transport, but since you just got here, they're not keyed to your comm badges and stuff like that. You could ask the Able to take you there if you wanted to, but it's not an unreasonable sprint if you just wanted to go in that direction.
I start to sprint immediately.
Yeah. We need to see if there's wounded.
I was actually thinking ground transport, like vehicles, but if not, then we'll just run.
Yeah. You know what? From the motor pool here, off this right here, since there would be one coming to respond anyway, if you guys are here, you can exit onto this area here and catch a ride over. That's not even a problem. I will make that so. I will also say that to complete that threat expenditure, what becomes immediately apparent to you is that you are seeing now for the first time a lot of orb activity, and it is orb activity that is taking place in and around the Metreon Cascade Reaction Generator located here. And yeah, as that explosion happens and smoke billows out, it seems like one of the plasma relays has blown and caused a pretty serious breach and explosion. This is not a pressurized system, but since that's where a lot of the habitable food is actually grown here the old-fashioned way instead of replicated, that is the facility that protects those crops that 10,000 people here use as a staple. But this is most concerning to you to see this elevated activity in the generator facility that's up here in the upper left-hand corner where I'm pinging. You are able to ride right over here and get off in about there in the vicinity of both of those locations.
Okay, so if we can assume that Mrex and Pokeem gave us that information about where that explosion was on the ride over, I would like to go take a look at it, see if there's anyone in there that needs to be pulled out from under some rubble.
You head for the explosion, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Who goes with Doctor? Chief?
Definitely.
Are you going to follow the commander, or do you have something else are you going to split up, divide and conquer here as we are getting to the climax?
I definitely go with the commander.
So if I shrink you down, I'll put Grav headed there. I will put the doctor headed there. Chief? Pokeem is concerned about the activity and is headed in the direction investigating the generator.
I'm following Pokeem. I don't trust him. So, Commander, I've got to keep an eye on this guy.
That's great. So Call, go with them.
Mrex is going to do the same thing. You guys over here, how do you want these red shirts in gold to accompany you? Commander, how do you apportion the rest of your away team?
I definitely send Sokal with Cliff Ready, along with... No, I'll bring the two grunts with us in case we need to move some heavy objects and save some people.
You got it. Outstanding. All right. Let us resolve, starting with the commander and the doctor. You get in there. The smoke is clearing and billing. There are several things happening. You definitely have some people who are trapped under rubble. You definitely have an active fire. And you definitely have 2 orbs that are in the vicinity, close proximity to both the wounded and to yourselves.
Okay. There are 2 orbs in the vicinity of the wounded and of ourselves. I pull my phaser and fire at one.
Go ahead and give me control plus security, please. And that's a difficulty 2.
Control 9, security 1. So I got to get under 10 twice.
Ooh.
That's a double success there on that second roll. Is absolutely fantastic. You deliver 4 stress. Do you wish to spend any momentum to increase the severity of your hit?
No. My intention actually was to feed it. If I've heard it, then I'm stopping. If I feel like I've heard it, then I'm stopping.
You see it momentarily glow more brightly.
Mm-hmm.
And as you lift your finger from the trigger of your Type 2 hand phaser, you hear it making a wailing sound. Ooh. That's increasing in pitch.
It's fine.
It sounds remarkably like the one that you heard Reddy set in the desert.
Yeah. Yeah. Phaser on overload.
It's getting very high.
I'll put my phaser on overload and throw it towards the energy balls.
Okay, absolutely. Just give me difficulty 1, control plus security.
Okay, what was that again? 10. Yeah.
On the money. You hit the one that you shot dead center. You expect to die as the phaser goes on overload, and it simply swallows the energy. Boom. It's a muffled.
And does it continue making that sound?
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone.
Your
okay.
your phaser is no more.
Yep. So I got one.
That's all you need, right?
Yeah.
But it causes that to go away. The other one draws close. Doctor? You're a calm mind in the face. By the way, Commander, Doctor, you see your 2 grunts. They're trying to help the wounded. Doctor, you've got 2 wounded people who are trapped, but you are also having you're that calm Vulcan mind that's in the middle of crisis here, and you are also the resident xenobiologist. You are finding it strangely curious that be in such close proximity to the creature now, much more so than you were when you were walking into the station.
Yes. However, I think I'm probably more concerned with the wounded.
Let me do a quick roll for the... Oh, that's bad. That's the problem with roll unders. Okay, so yeah, sense that you're concerned. The 2 grunts are already hard at work trying to free those.
They're trying to free the wounded.
This lady pulls your first patient close to you. This guy miscalculates and winds up dropping a partially collapsed beam on himself.
Okay.
Okay.
Where does your attention turn, Doctor? To the rescued patient, to your fallen comrade who has just clobbered himself, or to the orb?
Jeez. I'm gonna go try to rescue the guy who just dropped a beam on himself.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead and give me a daring plus engineering. This is going to be a difficulty 1 to get this big old beam off him.
Okay.
So that you need to roll under an 8.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, under a 9. Under a 9, I beg your pardon. You got 2 chances on a D20 roll. There you go. Like a boss. Vulcans are strong.
Yeah.
And you toss this thing off and drag both him and the station personnel that he was rescuing to relative safety. I'm going to let you take a bonus action here. And as a matter of fact, if you want to spend an additional momentum, I'll let you take 2 quickly to see if you can treat at least 2 of these people. Would you like to spend on momentum?
Yeah, I'd like to treat.
You got it.
Definitely.
For this, your emergency medicine, so you can have an extended range to stabilize these two, but they have a difficulty 4. Sorry, not difficulty 4. A difficulty 3 internal injuries from getting blown up and crushed, respectively. So could you give me first one die roll starting with 2d20 to get 3 successes on... I'm going to need daring plus medicine for you, please.
Okay. Oh.
Do you wish to spend your determination to add 2 successes to that?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
That was a
You'll
bad
spend that determination. Additionally, I will let you spend 2 more threat if you wish to get that last roll and see if you can help one of them.
So what am I looking at
You've
now?
already spent your
this-
determination. You've already spent your determination.
Mhm.
Your determination will give you that success. You could use that determination alone, and I'll just let you re-roll both of them. Or you could just spend 2 threat, roll again, and see if you get it. I'm sorry, 2 momentum, roll again, and see if you get it.
Oh, I say either or is what you're saying.
Yeah, it'll either be a complete re-roll or take the 2 successes that the determination gave you, and then spend the 2 threat to get 1 more roll.
Okay. I think I'm still confused, but so to get
You have spent your determination. There are 2 ways
Yes.
to proceed. One is to lose the 2 out of 3 that you already have and try to get 3 on a fresh roll, or
I see.
spend 2 and then roll 1 more time.
Okay.
Statistically, you're probably better off spending the 2 threat and rolling 1 more time.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I'll go ahead and do that.
Unfortunately, this guy, as all good red shirts do, even when they're in gold shirts, succumbs to his wounds. But the other 2 patients are still okay. And we'll pause right there as you are in a real pickle over in the hydroponics bay. Meanwhile, Master Chief, your science officer, the senior scientist, and your old war buddy / rival are closing in on the perimeter, which is surrounded by glowing orbs, just lots and lots of them. There are EPS power interruptions all over the place, flickering lights, systems going haywire.
I turn to the science officer. This thing. Tell me what the hell's going on.
Well, I brought the one tool that might shed some light on the subject because I really feel that more data is needed, and that is the communications algorithm that we set up to augment the universal translator. We tried it on the ship from orbit, but now we can try it up close and personal.
Let's do it.
Would you like to work together, Chief?
Yes.
All right. The 2 of you link your tricorders together. Go ahead, Chief, and give me insight plus science.
Okay.
This is going to be difficulty 3.
Oh, okay.
So you need to roll under 8s. You also have threat to spend. I'm sorry. You also have momentum to spend, and you can dig into threat if you need it. So would you like to add any dice to the 2 that you already have?
Yeah. Let's see. So I'm going to use a talent of mine, bold. So when I buy dice with adding a threat, I can re-roll a d20. So I want to take advantage of that.
Outstanding.
So
let's do this. Let us have you spend those 2 threat there, and then 2 momentum there, and then add 1 threat to my pool. That gives you 2 extra dice. You now have 4 with the option to re-roll 1 of them.
Yeah. Okay.
You only need to get 3 successes.
And it's I've got to go 10 or under. So let's see.
Correct.
1, 2. Yeah.
Like a boss. So
Nice.
that's actually a double success, and then 2, 3, 4. You even banked 1 back. Well done.
I turned to Pokeem, and I go, that's how it's done.
Additionally, SoCal assists you and is able to get another 3 successes, which will bump you back up to 4, which is amazing. I will spend 2 threat to bring two more orbs in very close proximity appearing next to you and SoCal as that happens. But your tricorder, these things draw amazingly close right after they appear out of nowhere. Your tricorder is acting in a universal translator mode, linked with SoCal's, and it says, "Stop throwing phasers."
It's against my better judgment, but I do that. I say yes. We'll stop.
Generator hurts us.
Okay. Can I communicate to the commander?
Absolutely. Just tap that comm badge as I
Yep.
spend my last threat here.
Oops. There we go. Commander, we've made first contact. The creatures are saying that the generator is hurting them.
Oh, that's
It
the
is-
opposite of what I thought.
And Commander Grav, even without the comm badge, you can hear the explosion happen right in proximity to your crewmen over in the MCR generator facility. Mrex
Okay.
is extremely concerned as he runs to the nearest readout. We are losing containment.
We've got to shut that thing down.
I don't think you understand. We won't be able to shut it down.
Cliff, ask
Yes,
the
Commander.
beings if they will withdraw temporarily in order to restore power to containment so that we can shut it down safely.
Yes, Commander. So I communicate that on to the beings.
You ask them to withdraw?
So we can contain the field and then be able to shut it down. We can't, there's a time for, beings. There's a time frame we've got to work with, and we need you to withdraw so we can shut this down safely.
Generator hurts us.
And we want to shut it down, but we need time.
What is your intent? What is your purpose?
To seek out new life and new civilizations. We want to, we come in peace.
By dying in an explosion.
If I have to die in an explosion, I'll sacrifice myself to save my crew. That's one of my values.
You do not have to.
What's your counteroffer?
What is required?
I turn to the science officer. What do we need to do to shut this thing down?
I don't know, Mrex says. I don't know how to fix this.
Okay. So the beings have asked me what's required, and Mirex doesn't know.
He knows that it's going to blow up.
Okay.
He communicates that to you most emphatically.
So is there a way to stop it by an extreme measure, like by going in and taking care of it manually?
Oh, Rex says, no. We should be running now. And I have no idea if that will do any good.
Oh, so
Am I
he doesn't
hearing-
know.
Am I hearing all of this over the?
You are. Open channel. You also
Yeah.
already hear that the station is already sending alarm klaxons and setting them off.
Okay. I say, Rex, what caused the containment loss? Was there a field that lost power that we can restore?
It looks like it was a disruption of the EPS system that controls the subspace containment of the MCR generator itself. These things probably didn't mean to disrupt it, but they have now set a course of action that I can't change.
It's too late, even if full power is restored.
It's too late even if full power is restored. I don't know how to fix something that is destroyed in the time that it will take. This reaction has got, he computes. You hear the click, click, click on his LCARs. Maybe 8 minutes?
We need to evacuate as many as we can, Commander.
I start running towards the reactor. And as I do so, I want to continue to speak to Cliff. Cliff, tell these beings that what is required is for the energy of this reactor to be sapped to 0 before it explodes.
Okay, I do my best to convey that. Can you help? Yeah, can you help us drain all the energy out of here? Otherwise, we're all going to die.
We'll pause right there as the commander is switching venues with an orb trailing close behind. TL, you and your would-be assistant still have a patient there who is desperate for help, badly burned and injured. Can you turn the tide?
Can I get them beamed to the ship? To sickbay?
You are inside the perimeter that the glowing orbs have surrounded the station with. You can attempt it, but it could be dangerous. You might be better able to help on the able, but that option may come too late or be too dangerous to exercise. But it is your choice.
I'll attempt to stabilize as I can. Here is the fire still raging? Like, do I need to get this person
Not
out?
in the section you are. You have pulled people away, and
Okay.
It's burning in the opposite end. This one down here where the explosion was. It's still burning over there, but like I said, you have rescued all the people that you can rescue, and you still have a patient in front of you. You can continue to go to safety if that's what you want to do.
Okay. I think her instinct would be to try to get people to safety, to save as many as possible.
All right, roll me a skull die down at the bottom of that stack as you and your shipboard subordinate pull that remaining patient out of there. Right down at the very bottom of the die stack. There it is. You do the best you can in a matter of seconds to keep that person patched up, but she too succumbs to her burns. You've lost another patient.
Damn.
What do you do from there? Do you wish to search for more people? Do you wish to join your shipmates?
She's probably going to search for more people.
Okay. I will give you one more. Go ahead. This is going to be a difficulty 2. Give me daring plus science to use your tricorder. And actually, you're going to get a 3rd die because you're using your tricorder device. So go ahead and give me 3 dice rolls. And that's 7 plus 5. You got a 12. Yeah, you're under. Fantastic.
Here we go.
Like a boss, one of those is a double success. You are able to rescue 3 individuals. They are less severely injured, but you are able to tend to their wounds and save their lives. Excellent work.
Okay, good.
You also got an extra momentum back. As we shift scene back, Commander Grav, you're on scene now. You and the orb following you.
All right. What do I see as Cliff has relayed my words to these balls that are with him? Do I see them
Master
doing anything
Chief
or
ready?
hear their
Master
response?
Chief ready? What are your exact words to the beings?
Help us contain, help us reduce the energy output so we can avert the explosion.
Fantastic. Could you give me a presence plus command? And
Okay.
for you, that is going to be a
12.
12.
Okay.
You also have, before you roll, you've got 5 momentum and a determination.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely use my determination. So I guess I'll automatically have one of them be a 1.
So Call is going to assist you there. This is a difficulty 3. So before you spend anything, go ahead, or including that determination, go ahead and roll your 3 dice.
Okay. Ooh, there's only one success.
So you can spend that determination and it'll add a critical success to it. That would be a difficulty 3. If you just spend your determination, you'd be on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since he's relaying my words and I'm also entering the scene right now,
Yes.
could that be counted as assisting?
Yeah, I would do that. If you want to give me the same roll, which would be daring plus command.
Yeah. So daring is 9, command is 4, so 13 for me. That's 1 success.
That adds. And so Call.
That also allows the assisted character to re-roll a d20 that he's already rolled.
You are completely successful, the 3 of you working together. As another explosion goes, the orbs, the 3 of them, all break off from the 3 of you, almost like a huddle. You are, Chief Reddy, you are holding that tricorder in your hand, waiting for the response, but none come. But they are pulsing. They are talking. The explosion has ripped through another area over here in the generator. Debris is tossed across the deck. Flames, sparks, arcs of plasma. Mares says we now have less than 2 minutes. Suddenly you see lots of orbs appear. They are closing together tighter and tighter around the reaction chamber itself, including the three with which you were communicating.
It's working.
There is an incredible concussion that knocks everyone to the ground.
But
You're
not vaporized.
You are not injured. You are not vaporized.
Outstanding.
The reaction chamber is utterly destroyed and then falls silent. There's just smoke and rubble and the smell of ozone in the air. There is a lone orb, and Master Chief, all of a sudden your tricorder in communication mode with the entity issues final communication. It says, "This reaction hurts us. This reaction causes ripples in your subspace that you do not understand. We request that you desist and reconsider. There will be a time when we might help you." And in that moment, you watch the last orb fade away. In orbit, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of these glowing orbs retreat from the surface, fall back into the rift. The rift itself closes. And that is when you hear from the captain, "Jabbar Graf,
Go ahead, Captain.
what the hell is going on down there? Haven't had a status report, but now we have nothing to report on. Is this good news, Commander?"
That's a matter of perspective, sir. I'll give you my full report when I return. However, these entities did turn out to be living beings from subspace. It seems the reaction chamber, the reaction it was producing was harming them somehow, and that is why they came here. They also just saved all of our lives in the process of shutting the reactor down. My recommendation is going to be that we tell to Commander Roberts that for now, this experiment must be suspended.
Well, you'll have to get in line to give me the details of your report, Commander, because I've got him on a separate channel and he's hopping mad about this whole thing.
Well, I'll be happy to give him the data from the tricorders that recorded our entire conversation with these beings.
Gather your away team. Return to the ship as soon as you are able to get back to your shuttle.
Sir, request permission to stay long enough for Dr. Tiel to assess the condition of everyone down here. There were a number of explosions.
Granted, number one. Make it so.
Out.
Under the good doctor's guidance, you are able to help the base medical personnel and security personnel, again, with the help of Chief Pokeem and the rest of his security personnel, to locate, triage, put out flames, perform first response, and Dr. Tiel is instrumental in providing critical care that makes a difference between life and death for a few other injured people who were found. Roberts is inconsolable, worried about what his future is, but grudgingly grateful that he still has a base to command, and does offer appreciation for your help in solving the dilemma. He does have a degree of scientific curiosity, but Mrex has even more so at the data and that was collected by the presence of the orbs during the phase of communication with them. And he is hopeful that he might have made new scientific colleagues who can aid him in understanding the true nuances of the MCR reaction and its future potential in Federation science for power generation and eventually starship propulsion that could completely push back the boundaries of current scientific understanding and eventually the final frontier itself. You return to the Able. You break orbit. You leave Delta, beg your pardon, Delphi Tartarus 3 and this G-class star system behind. You are on your way to your next routine patrol destination. Final frames, and let us start from enlisted personnel up. Chief Reddy, your final frame for the night.
Who knew that violence wasn't the answer? We had it wrong from the beginning. I was right though, in that one of those things got to go, and in the end, it was the generator. Thanks to all of the landing crew.
Absolutely. The ship is safe and you can breathe easy. Doctor, you have learned much. You have acted. You have used your logic and done good. Tell us what your final frame looks like.
She's meditating in her quarters. She has an incense lit for each person lost.
Wonderful. Much to meditate on, but ultimately a sense that you have aided to understanding and increased our appreciation of infinite diversity and infinite combination in accordance with your values.
Also going to have long conversations with the science officer. Lots of lifted eyebrows.
Lots of lifted eyebrows and plomeek soup. Excellent.
Exactly.
And last but not least, final frame for number 1, Commander Groff.
Yes, I turn to the ship, make my reports, square away all of the information that needs to be squared away at the end of a mission. And then being that I am a dashing second in command of a starship with a Deltan counselor, I stop by her quarters to have thick, unspoken sexual tension for a long period of time while I tell her that I'm okay.
She looks at you as you are sitting there having a drink and getting to know each other better, and simply says, "This is like, you realize it's really not in my nature to take advantage of a sexually immature species."
I know you've been telling me that for a good decade now. I'm fine with it. This is all I need.
Well, maybe there's hope for you. And we'll fade to black on that scene as we have a conclusion to this mission distress call. Wonderful job. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Christian.
You saved the day and finished breathing, and that's a good mission.
Heck yeah. I'm so sorry about those 2 losses, Doctor. Those were Those were bad.
Yeah.
No, everybody's characters were absolutely extraordinary, and it was a sincere pleasure to see this take its own turns and come out with a lot of drama and a lot of excitement and a really rewarding conclusion. As the author of this mission, it was fun to see it happen this way this time, and I appreciate your enthusiastic participation. It was wonderful.
Yes, likewise. Thanks for running this for us, and thanks for doing all the work. The viewers probably don't realize Chris is the only GM on the stream who does all his own graphic design instead of letting me do it. Weeks in advance of his games, I start getting images in. Saves me a lot of time.
Yeah, this looks awesome. I mean,
I appreciate the opportunity.
It looks really, really awesome. Nice job.
Thank you, guys.
Incredible
Thank you
job
so
with
much.
it too. Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I have for you.
Great. Yeah, I'd love to do this one again sometimes. I'd love to be Ronald Grove again and be with you two again if possible. But for now, let me just outro this. On Friday, we're going back to Shadows of the Abyss, episode 14. Unfortunately, Yuri, who was traveling abroad last week due to international situations, is still traveling abroad. She's safe, but she'll be back after the episode. So we'll be without her, but we will have everyone else hopefully, and we'll continue with Shadows of the Abyss on Monday. Will be the first of 3 sessions in Dolmenwood, which means for the next 3 weeks, Alan is running both shows.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that'll be fun for him. All right. Thanks everyone. See you next time.